Joel Embiid has 17 field goals, all twos, 17 free throws out of 18 in just 36 minutes. Can you talk about just what level that is?
Yeah, it's we're seeing something pretty cool right now, right in front of us, right? And I mean, it just goes back. I think I heard him say a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago, that his mindset is to go out there and dominate every single night. And I like that as a starting point, right? I think he only had 10 in the first quarter tonight, if I'm not mistaken, which he's been kind of getting close to 20 in some of those. So I kind of like that as well. And just the combo of they did try to stay closer, take away some of the getting the ball to him, and that means Tyrese has to turn on the jets or bounce out there and go. And there was a segment where in the fourth he was able to do that, but I actually thought Joel started a little slow and didn't have quite the pop, and they went in a little reverse layup, and he didn't quite get it up to the rim one time, and I was like, oh, what's going on? But I thought he really, late second half, all that stuff, I thought he really looked, I don't know, it's like every time he takes a shot, you think it's going in. It's really high percentage.
When you see him have 51 points against a defender like Gobert and a good defensive team like Minnesota, what's your reaction when it comes against an opponent like that?
Well, I think that I keep saying this, I think he's continuing to get better, right? I think he's just doing enough different things rhythmically to keep those guys guessing. And he's really got a feel for if they step into him, of getting into him. And, I think Gobert fouled him once with his kind of body on his arms. He came forward and Joel noticed he was coming forward and he got right into his forward movement. So, I mean, listen, my favorite stuff is every now and then he's shooting, he makes it, and then all of a sudden he goes down the lane and dunks it on about 3 people. I like the force downhill, right? Because that is going to start to draw some other things, and those are also pretty high percentage shots. So that's why we like them. Yeah.
It kind of came as a side plot in this game, but any idea right now with D'Anthony, what lies ahead for him?
Yeah, he took a knee to the thigh. Nothing else wrong with any part of his knee or any of that stuff. It was in the thigh. So, those are sore, and those will probably be even more sore tomorrow. But we'll get a more of an eval. But that's what happened.
Tyrese was obviously sensational in the fourth quarter, but it feels like he made some adjustments in order to finish up over guys like Gobert, Towns, McDaniels. What did you kind of see?
Yeah, so I wasn't very happy with the pace and the speed we came out the second half with. We got a little bit of as we walked out onto the floor, I was like, where's Melt? And they're like, Melt's out. And we're like, Pat, get in there. And we kind of came out kind of like that. And I just asked Tyrese, I said, you got to play a lot. You got to get the ball up the floor, play faster. You got to be more decisive. If they pressure you, go around them, whatever. Okay. And I thought he did pick up his pace. But again, when they set that screen, if they're going to try to not let Joel get the ball back on the pocket pass, then there's not much in front of him. If he sets a good screen and he's the defender's behind him, so he's got to go make the next play. Even Pat Bev saw that 2 or 3 plays in a row that they were staying, so he couldn't get it back, and went in and made the floater, dumped one off to KJ. I mean, you got to read what's happening out there, and I thought that's what Tyrese did a great job of. Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, aggression was a theme, obviously, with Tyrese. When you think about the second half, also in the beginning of the season, you talked a lot about finishing through contact, drawing contact. It felt like in the second half, after the adjustments you're talking about, he was sort of doing all those things that you wanted of him. Where would you say he is sort of in that progression and, I guess, being able to do it on command?
Yeah, well, tonight he was really good.
Yeah.
I like when he turns the corner and he looks down there and he's got a runway, but he still sees Gobert there. And he just throws on the jets and jumps in the, goes at him, right? Moves it around, gets, hits him, whatever it is. That's this kind of aggressiveness that we're talking about. There's opening, there's space, man. You got to attack downhill and figure it out later, not sit there and say, oh, I don't want to go down there against, and then all of a sudden the play stalls and the guy's back in front and they're all back to their man, all that stuff. So that was awesome. That was the best he's done that tonight, and I didn't think it was that out. I mean, you're looking down there, and there's a shot blocker down there, and he was going down there and attacking him.
Kind of seemed like
AJ.
the unit that opened the second quarter got off to a much better start because you were moving the ball both sides of the floor. Do you feel like when things kind of slow down for you guys on offense in that unit, it's as reductive as we need more movement?
Yeah, I think for sure. There's a whole kind of another package those guys are going to run when Joel's off the floor, right? We did one of the benefits of the way we ended up with a few guys out tonight is we went back to kind of one of our early season rotations where we got Tobias out early and Tyrese out early and brought them both back to start. So Tobias was starting the second, and again, I thought he had a good game tonight. I thought he worked really hard. He's matched up on Edwards. He was matched up on Towns. He was back to Edwards late back to Edwards late. Then he picked up his fifth, and we put Kelly back on Edwards, and so I thought he chased the ball. I thought he made some great drives. I think he didn't finish a couple. Was getting a little bit, whatever. But then he goes down there and dunks one. He comes off and scores one, and then he gets an offensive rebound here or there. I was really happy with Tobias as just kind of like energy and effort all night long.
You went with KJ in the second half a couple of times.
Yep.
What went into that decision, and what did you kind of see from this run there?
Yeah, we were just kind of at a position where we were needing what we thought was a athletic, strong, physical guy to take some minutes on Edwards, right? And we finally found a good matchup for Towns, which was Marcus, right? He did a good job on him, and then we're just trying to buy minutes for those guys to get a little breather here and there. And yeah, he did a good job. He competes, man. He competes and he can move, and he's physical. And he's not, he's a little dangerous around the rim at the other end too, right? He can finish and do some things down there.
If you just to say, I apologize, I wasn't a other approach, but they had to jump in that third quarter, and then you guys picked it up from there. What your response in that situation where you guys came out from that jump, and then what was the key for that? And then just talk about being able to just kind of turn it around that one.
Yeah. The key for me was, sometimes I think this happens. I don't have any huge statistical research on this, but you get up for a big game and you rev your engines really hard in the first half, and then you go shut them off at halftime. Right? Sometimes it's hard to come out and have them revving again. I just think that was our problem. We just were moving a little, and then we'd take the ball out and we'd walk it up, and nobody was moving. And I just called the timeout and said, "Let's go. Let's get the ball in. Let's attack. Let's get up. Get them back on their heel." And we did. I think we just kind of needed a little bit of a moment to kind of re-energize our engines there a little bit.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.